Hi, and welcome to our home safety webinar for the Play It Safe with Kohl's Home Safety Bag program. We're so happy that you're interested in distributing our home safety bags to your parents. Okay, a little bit of background and funding for the program. Funding is provided by Kohl's Cares, which is a um, program through Kohl's department stores. We started our home safety bag program more than 12 years ago. And the reason that we're interested here at the Injury Prevention and Research Center at Lurie Children's Hospital in injuries at all is because injuries are the #1 killer of children in the United States. And the difference between injuries and many other childhood diseases is that injuries are preventable. So we want to get the word out to parents about how to prevent injuries. And when we're talking about young kids, they're most likely to be injured in their homes because that's where they spend the majority of their time. And this bag is intended to start parents thinking about home safety issues, not to be a comprehensive childproofing kit. It's kind of just a childproofing starter kit. So when you distribute the bag, just provide a little couple minutes of simple one-on-one education, go through the checklist and the items that are in the bag so that parents sort of know what everything is. We do have other safety items available, such as smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, furniture straps, window prevention devices, and those are available on a limited basis, and you can contact me, Amy Hill, if you are interested in getting any of these for any of your families. This is what our home safety bag looks like. It's completely reusable after you empty all the contents out of the bag. So what's in our bag? We've got a home safety checklist that is double-sided, English and Spanish, so there's only one in each bag and it's completely bilingual. We have a choke tube, a jar opener, a bath thermometer, cabinet locks, a poison prevention packet, and a bookmark that provides positive messaging on ways to praise your child every day. We estimate that the contents of the bag are worth about $25 or so. Okay, let's now go through the home safety checklist page by page. So the first topic that we focus on our checklist are fires and burns. And the most important thing families need to have in their homes is a working smoke detector. It greatly reduces your chances of dying in a fire. We want families to know that they should have a home exit plan and to practice it with their kids, because kids get very scared in fires because they're so confusing with all the smoke and everything, and they tend to hide in closets or under the bed. And you don't want them to do that. You want them to get out as quickly as possible. So the way that they know to do that is to practice it on a regular basis. Make sure you've got a working smoke alarm on each floor, particularly near the bedrooms, and the battery should be changed every 6 months. We recommend that they are changed when clocks are turned back in the fall and ahead in the spring, because that's something everybody does twice a year. Another way to prevent, and these would be scald burns, is to make sure you turn pot handles to the back of the stove. Don't carry small children and babies while you're carrying a hot beverage or food, like a liquid food, soup or something. And tablecloths can be problematic when you have young kids because they tend to pull on the tablecloth, and then what's on top of the tablecloth, like hot soup, can fall down on them. The other thing that we don't recommend that young children use at all are to have any access to a microwave, because things can get very hot in a microwave and the temperature can be quite uneven. So we don't recommend that small children taking things in and out of a microwave. Okay, next topic, water. So although pools are the most common place for drowning to occur in young kids, we don't want parents to ever leave a child alone near lakes or bathtubs as well, including pools. So don't leave a child even for a second to go answer the phone or answer the door or take care of an older child. Never leave a child alone near water. Kids can drown in a very small amount of water, so we want parents to know they should be emptying buckets or other things like baby pools that can hold water, and make sure to store them upside down. Kids also get scald burns in the bathtub, and so we want parents to check the temperature of bath water with a thermometer or their wrist or elbow. And the reason for that instead of a hand is that the skin is much more sensitive on your elbow or wrist, and you're more likely to be able to detect how hot it really is with either one of those body parts. This is our bath thermometer. The black line just underneath the duck will tell you whether it's too hot on the far right when you dip it in the water. And if the water is okay, it says okay in the middle of that black line. So you can just dip it in the water and it'll determine the temperature for you. The next topic that we want to focus on is choking. And kids choke on food and other household items that are small, round, and hard. The food that they typically choke on are hot dogs, hard candy, nuts, grapes, carrots, popcorn, marshmallows, and peanut butter. So we want parents to cut that type of food into very small pieces. Hot dogs need to be cut lengthwise and then lengthwise again to make sure that you've got nice small pieces for a young child. Grapes as well, carrots, all those things need to be cut into small pieces. Parents should be checking the size of toys that their small kids are playing with. Make sure to look at the label to make sure they are the right age for the child, because one of the things that determines the age is the size of the actual toy. Make sure to keep older kids' toys away from the younger kids. So small things like Polly Pockets, Legos, Shopkins, those things all need to be kept away from young kids because they're quite small sometimes. Make sure you keep plastic bags and small toys away from young kids. And the last thing that can cause an airway obstruction in kids are window blind cords. So make sure you keep those out of kids' reach. This is a small parts tester or choke tube. This is one of the items included in the bag. And if the object fits inside the tube, it is a choking hazard. This tube is used by the toy industry to determine whether something is a choking hazard or not. And this slide is going to have a video that shows actually how parents should use that choke tube.
Choking is a leading cause of injury and death among children, especially those younger than 4. Food, coins, and toys are the main causes of choking. Children younger than 4 should not be given any round, firm foods unless they have been cut into very small pieces. Foods that commonly lead to choking include hot dogs and chunks of cheese, hard candy, gum, and marshmallows, whole grapes, pieces of fruit, and raw vegetables, and nuts, popcorn, and peanut butter. Young children also commonly put objects in their mouths as they explore their environments. Some household items can pose a potential risk for choking. These items should be kept out of the reach of young children. Parents can check if a toy is too small for a young child to play with by using a small parts test device. If the piece fits inside the tube, it is not an appropriate toy for a young child. Small parts test devices are available at most toy stores. For more choking prevention materials, such as a video on how to cut food for young children, please visit our website at injurycenter.org.
The next topic that we focus on in our home safety bags are poisons. And 9 out of 10 poisonings with kids actually do happen in the home. So we want to make sure parents know to use a lock on cupboards and drawers and keep things like medicine and cleaners, potential poisons in these spaces. The other thing parents can do is to keep things very high and out of reach and sight of kids so that they're not tempted to crawl up on a cabinet to get something. We do provide a universal cabinet latch in our bags as well that can be used on a drawer or cabinet. We want to encourage parents to call the Illinois Poison Center for any poisoning concerns. They are open 365 days a year, um, 24 hours a day, and they can speak and get interpreters for any language, so there should be no barriers to calling. It's also a service that's free of charge. Parents should make sure to keep household cleaners in their original bottles, and we have a video coming up in a few slides that will show just why that's important. And another thing to prevent poisonings in the home are to make sure that you have a carbon monoxide detector in your home. And as I said earlier, we can provide a carbon monoxide detector for a family that might need one. Some other poison prevention facts. Calls to the Illinois Poison Center, almost half of them involve kids 5 and younger. And little kids are most likely to be poisoned by pain relievers like aspirin, acetaminophen, or ibuprofen, any type of household cleaner, and personal care products like shampoos, lotions, nail polish remover, that sort of thing. So we want parents to know that they should teach kids to ask first before eating or drinking anything, to keep their potential poisons up high and out of reach, and keep the potential poison in the original container. Just a few carbon monoxide facts. So, carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas that you cannot see, taste, or smell. And it comes from fuel burning appliances like furnaces, gas dryers, gas powered lawn mowers, snow blowers, things like that, cars, and charcoal grills. And it can cause serious health problems and even death. And we do have a law in the state of Illinois that requires that every residence have a working carbon monoxide detector. However, sometimes tenants have a hard time getting landlords to provide one. So if that's the case, please contact me and I will be happy to try and secure one for you. This is the items that are in our poison prevention packet. We've got information from the Illinois Poison Center. We have stickers or poison prevention magnets. We also encourage parents to enter the Illinois Poison Center number into their cell phones so that they've got it ready in case they need it. And we have universal cabinet and drawer latches. So parents have that don't require tools. So parents have a way to keep their things locked. A couple other points, just real quickly, is that kids are also quite likely to get poisoned at grandparents' homes. Grandparents tend to take more medication than anyone else, and they're less likely to have it locked up. And so we want to make sure that parents know to let grandparents be aware that they should keep their medicines up high and out of sight and out of reach. We also just want to encourage, once again, people to call the Illinois Poison Center. They are able to treat about 90% of their calls actually at the home rather than going to the emergency room. So if a kid gets into a potential poison, it's a much better idea if they are still conscious and breathing to call the Illinois Poison Center and have them help you rather than rushing a child to the emergency room where you might have to wait for quite a long time. Okay, here's a video done by Tim Meehan, who is a toxicologist at the Poison Center, and this kind of demonstrates the importance of keeping things in the original containers and how easy it is to confuse certain things that are completely non-toxic to things that are highly toxic.
Hi, Tim Meehan here. I'm one of the medical toxicologists with the Illinois Poison Center. Here to welcome you to Poison Prevention Week. It's that time of year when we really try to raise the awareness of both the intentional and unintentional poisonings that can occur in and about the home. For me, one area of interest is children that become poisoned by getting into chemicals that have been stored in unlabeled bottles. Kids will potentially see these things and get into them thinking they just are the regular juice that they're allowed to eat, they're allowed to drink without having to ask mom or dad's permission. The problem is that one or two sips of these chemicals can result in serious illness and potentially even death. Case in point, my first example is windshield washer fluid and blue Gatorade. Blue Gatorade has sugar, water, electrolytes. It's designed to keep you hydrated, whereas windshield wiper fluid has methanol in it, which is a toxic alcohol, can cause blindness and even death with just a few small sips. Now, they both flow exactly the same, they look exactly the same, and differentiation is very difficult. Another great example would be the difference between antifreeze and kind of the yellow-green Gatorade. Antifreeze has ethylene glycol in it, which is another toxic alcohol. Again, Gatorade non-toxic, but the ethylene glycol in antifreeze can cause renal failure and kidney damage and can result in death. And last but not least, water. Right here, nice and clear, flows very easily, not easily distinguishable from isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol is in most homes. It's also known as rubbing alcohol, used in first aid. It's kept in the medicine cabinet, linen closet, sometimes in the laundry room, or with mom's nail polish supplies. And the difference between water, which is hydrating and nourishing, and rubbing alcohol, which can cause significant bleeding to the stomach and illness, is not something that can be truly understated. And finally, the difference between water and vodka. Good old 80 proof alcohol. Most adults will have had some experience with alcoholic beverages. However, a child getting into an alcoholic beverage can run into significant difficulty. The drunkenness that they can feel can be more profound in a child, headaches, vomiting, and can run into serious problems in terms of being able to metabolize and use sugar in their blood and get into significant trouble from low sugar. And if worse comes to worse and your child does get into one of these substances or chemicals, please call us here at the Illinois Poison Center. Our number is 1-800-222-1222. We'll be ready, happy, and willing to help you with anything that needs to be done. Thank you.
Okay, our next topic that we focus on in our checklist are falls. And we're particularly interested in window falls here at Lurie Children's Hospital because in Chicago we do have an issue with kids falling out of windows in the warm summer months. So we want parents to move furniture like beds, chairs, couches away from the windows because that gives kids a real access point to getting close to an open window. And never have open windows more than 4 inches wide. We've got a little measuring device in our kit that shows parents what 4 inches looks like. And then to make sure you open the windows at the top if possible, if you've got double hung windows. The other common place that kids fall are on stairs. So make sure you use gates at the top and the bottom of the stairs if you have stairs in the home. Just a few facts about window falls is that in Chicago, trauma centers see about 15 to 20 window falls during the warm months in the summer. This past year, because we had a warmer fall, we saw about 23 falls at trauma centers in Chicago. Some of them quite serious injuries, and there have actually even been some fatalities from window falls in our area. But we do have a big awareness campaign each year, and we have seen the number of falls decrease as awareness has improved. So we want to be sure that parents know the danger that windows actually present to young kids. This is the jar opener that reminds parents of the 4-inch rule. That windows should not be open any wider than this jar opener. So let's now watch a video about Stop the Falls, which is our window falls prevention campaign.
Small steps can save a child's life. Never open windows more than 4 inches. Open them from the top down if possible and move furniture away. Stop the falls. Follow the 4-inch rule. Visit luriechildrens.org/KohlsCares for more information.
The next thing we want to talk about is suffocation. Um, And this typically occurs in infants. So we want to make sure that parents know that with infants that they should always be putting them on their back to sleep, not on sides or stomachs. And that room sharing without bed sharing is best. So what that means is to keep the baby in your room with you in a bassinet, a pack and play, a crib, next to your bed, but not in your bed, where there is typically soft bedding and pillows and things like that. Make sure to keep soft objects and loose bedding out of the crib, and make sure to use a firm sleep surface, a firm mattress for babies. So, just some more safe sleep facts because it's such an important issue. So, unintentional suffocation is the leading cause of injury related death for kids 1 year of age and younger. And nearly 3/4 of these deaths are caused by accidental suffocation or strangulation in bed. Um, I've got 2 videos coming up. One, both about safe sleep. One is about the new crib standards that came out in 2011, that the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission now requires for all cribs, because a lot of people use hand-me-down cribs, and I think it's very important to know that most older cribs have now been recalled, and any crib with a drop side has been recalled. So parents should be very aware of this before they take a used crib from a friend or relative.
The safest place for baby is in a crib that meets current standards. Beginning June 28, 2011, all cribs sold must meet new federal requirements for overall crib safety.
These new requirements prohibit the manufacture or sale of traditional drop-side cribs, improve slat strength, make hardware stronger, require tougher testing, and improve mattress support durability.
America now has the strongest crib safety standards in the world. CPSC has recalled over 11 million cribs since 2007. CPSC has also received reports of 32 infant deaths associated with detached drop-side cribs. Our goal is to prevent these tragedies from ever happening again.
Contact the crib manufacturer to see if your crib complies with the new federal standard.
For more information on crib safety and the most up-to-date information on creating a safe sleep environment for your baby, visit us at cpsc.gov/cribs.
Okay, and then this next video is just a safe sleep for babies video that has all the tips about keeping an infant safe in a sleep environment.
Congratulations! Whether you just had a baby, expecting a new baby, or taking care of a young infant, it's important to create a safe sleep environment for your baby. Hi, I'm Nikki Fleming, spokesperson with the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. Today, I'd like to take a few moments to show you how to create a safe sleep environment for your baby. The safest place for your baby to sleep is in a safe crib, bassinet, and play yard. These items should never be placed near a window as they create a serious fall hazard and a risk of strangulation on window blind cords. Additionally, please remember these safe sleep tips. To reduce the risk of SIDS and suffocation, place your baby to sleep on his or her back. Do not place your infant to sleep on their side because this is an unstable position and the infant will tend to flip onto their stomach. This is an important recommendation from the Consumer Product Safety Commission and the American Academy of Pediatrics. Never place your baby to sleep on top of pillows or comforters. Remove these items from the crib. In fact, the vast majority of deaths associated with an unsafe sleep setting are caused by a combination of using extra bedding and placing a baby to sleep on his or her stomach.
Make sure the crib has no loose or missing parts or slats. Cribs with broken hardware or even a missing screw can have their side rail become disengaged, allowing your baby to get caught between the crib mattress and side rail. Only repair a crib with parts provided by the manufacturer. Makeshift repairs can create new deadly hazards. The mattress should be firm, with a tight fit on all four sides, and no gaps or spaces. If you can fit more than 2 fingers between the mattress and the crib side, your crib is unsafe. Keep monitor and other cords out of your child's reach, as these cords can pose a strangulation hazard. Lower the mattress as soon as your child can push up on his or her hands and knees to prevent climbing out of the crib. Visit cpsc.gov or call the CPSC hotline to check if the crib model has been recalled. Contact CPSC at 800-638-2772. Now we hope you and your baby can have both a good night's sleep and a safe sleep. Sweet dreams.
Okay, our final page in our checklist are other injuries. So one of the things that they touched on it briefly in the video is product safety. So make sure to check items for recalls. You can go to kidsindanger.org or cpsc.gov to check for products in your home to see whether they've been recalled or not. You can use CPSC's website to sign up, and they will email you on a daily basis all the products that are recalled. For any people that own guns, make sure to keep them unloaded and locked up out of reach of kids, and to keep the ammunition locked in a separate place from the gun. Make sure to keep sharp objects like knives, razors, scissors in a locked cupboard. And the final thing that we want to talk about are to keep heavy things like TVs on low, strong furniture, put them on the floor. We also encourage parents to anchor all furniture like dressers, shelving units, armoires, entertainment units, all that sort of thing are potential tip hazards for kids. And so they should be anchored to the wall. We do have furniture anchoring devices for families, so if you think you have families that need them, we're happy to provide them. Okay, let's just watch a short video about what Kids in Danger does.
Every year, thousands of children are put in danger by the products that we entrust with our children's care, safety, and comfort. Too often, a recall is initiated only after a child is hurt or killed by a defective product. And once a dangerous product has been released into the stream of commerce, it's very difficult to get it back. To fully protect our children now, using these 3 steps to safety. Step 1, learn about the problem. Learn more about children's product safety at KIDS website, kidsindanger.org. Step 2, check your products for recalls. Do an inventory of the items used by your children and check it against the list of recalls maintained by CPSC. Step 3, act to keep children safe. KIDS work is a legacy to all children who have been hurt or killed in unsafe products. We hope you'll join with KIDS, because together we can make our world a safer place and protect our children from dangerous products.
Here's some alarming news about TVs that might surprise you. Every 3 weeks, a child dies from a TV tipping over. Thousands more are injured every year. And these tragedies have increased by more than 30% in the last 10 years. But we can prevent TV tipovers with just a few simple steps. First, check the stability of all TVs in your house, especially if they are on a stand or a piece of furniture. Remember, a curious, determined child can tip a TV by simply climbing a piece of furniture, reaching for an item like a remote control, video game, or playing with a friend or pet. Second, secure your TV. Mounting your flat screen TV to the wall is a much safer solution. Older TVs should be placed on a low, stable piece of furniture. Make the TV a part of your childproofing plan, because dramas and tragedies should be on TV, not because of them. For more information, visit safekids.org.
So we want to thank you so much for participating in this program. And the next step is to take our online quiz. And after you've passed the quiz, you need to complete a short organization information form. That's just for our grant tracking purposes. And then once you've done both of those things, you're ready to distribute the bags. So just make sure you distribute them with a short, couple minute educational presentation going over the home safety checklist. Ordering bags is really simple. You just email me with the number of boxes that you need. They're in boxes of 25 bags and can't be split, so the minimum order is 25. And we will ship them to you via UPS directly from our bag supplier. And when you need more boxes of bags, we'll happily send more out. Again, thank you so much for participating. Here is my contact information. And if you ever need those additional items that I spoke about earlier, please also feel free to contact me for those as well. Thank you so much.